I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage somebody who has been chronicling this movement as it's been developing, both for the Capital Times newspaper here in Madison and also for The Nation magazine nationally. He's been a guest on numerous interview programs over the course of the past week, and he has a few minutes to spare for us tonight. Let's give a warm welcome to John Nichols.
This struggle that we have engaged in for the last 2 weeks has already succeeded. 2 weeks ago tomorrow morning, the governor of this state proposed a budget repair bill, and it is a false proposal. It is a false proposal because our budget can be repaired in humane and decent ways with little trouble. But our governor proposed a budget repair bill that would take away the rights of trade unions to give us a voice in our workplaces, that would take away our ability to protect our most vulnerable citizens with Medicaid, Medicare, senior care, and Badger care, that would sell off our public lands to, not by bidding, but to billionaires in insider deals. It was the darkest proposal to be put forward by a governor in the history of this state. There is a people power in play here. It is the people power that we saw in Cairo. It is the people power that we saw in Tunisia, that we have seen in Bahrain, that we have seen in Yemen, that we have seen in Libya. It is a power that is rooted in an understanding of an American concept, an old American concept. When the founders of this republic wrote our Constitution, they did not mention how we would hold elections. They also didn't mention corporations. But they did mention how we would hold our leaders to account. In that First Amendment, they said, we have freedom of speech. And they didn't mean to just talk about what you did last night. They said we have a right to assemble, and it wasn't to see a baseball game. They told us at the end of that amendment what it was all about. We have a right to petition for the redress of grievances.
The workers of Egypt were instrumental in bringing down the regime there in a remarkable coalition with Egypt's youth. In the streets of Madison under the Capitol Dome, another demonstration of solidarity is taking place that we are watching unfold today. Wisconsin's workers have agreed to pay and pension concessions, but will not give up your right to collective bargaining. At this point, Governor Walker would be wise to negotiate. It's not a good season to be a tyrant.
What the government tried to do, the Egyptian government in its fear of the people, was to try and shut down all communications. So on Friday, no cell phones worked in Egypt. And in an unprecedented move, I think, in all of history, they shut off the internet completely. So Egyptians were cut off entirely from the digital world. Now, this was the dumbest thing they could have possibly done. A lot of people said they would have just stayed home, called their friends, checked out on Facebook how the protest was going. But they couldn't, so they went. Now, this was a peaceful march. It was a peaceful protest. And in Cairo, they took to the streets in Cairo, in Alexandria, in Mahalla, in Suez, all across Egypt. In Cairo, where they wanted to reach Tahrir. Tahrir means liberation, and they wanted to get there. It's a main square in downtown Cairo. And they were attacked. They were attacked with rubber bullets, they were attacked with batons, they were attacked with tear gas, and they were attacked with live bullets. And hundreds were killed. But they kept coming. And one protester said, we gave each other courage. We came in wave after wave. When some would fall, others would come. We gave each other courage. And after several hours, the police lost. They were forced to retreat. And the army was sent in, and then the police just disappeared. And so the people marched into Tahrir and they were triumphant.
If you've been involved in social change, like the people of Egypt, like the people of Tunisia, like you right here in Madison, when it does, you will be determining history and the course of the future for you and many generations to come.
As you go out tonight, remember this. Remember this. Each and every one of you, each and every one of you is now part of an epic, historic moment. You are transforming Wisconsin. Somebody told me on the street, you know, we're never going to have another Republican governor of this state. You are transforming this nation. You are putting Americans in solidarity with people across this planet. And you are doing something else. You are teaching your children. You are teaching your children that Patti Smith was right. People have the power. And we will use that power not merely to stop a bad bill, because that's not enough anymore. Not merely to rebuild a labor movement, because that's not enough anymore. Not merely to create a fair and decent economy in this country, because that's not enough anymore. I know you're satisfied with that. No. We're going to create what we've never quite had, but what we have always wanted. We're going to create a democracy